What's up guys, this is Balázs from Racing Brick. This set was announced more than a month ago and you could see a lot of details, but the official review embargo date was pushed to match the release date on LEGO.com. I managed to buy this box in a local shop, so this time it is not a set supplied by LEGO. Please enjoy the early review of the 42123 McLaren Senna GTR. As you can see on the front of the box, this is not the regular boring street legal version of the McLaren Senna. This is the ultimate GTR track monster. I'm sure at least some extra speed comes from the stickers, as this set seems to have tons of it. On the back you see the gorgeous rear section of the car, some functions and the dimensions, and some data about the real-life version. Now let's open the box and see what's inside. We get 6 numbered bags, an unnumbered one with the tires and flex axles, and the manual and the sticker sheet without any extra protection. There are 3 unusually big numbered bags and 3 smaller ones. I don't think the content justifies the size, it is a bit weird. The sticker sheet is huge. I don't think I ever saw 46 individual stickers for a mid-size Technic set. Luckily it survived without any extra protection, but it would be really nice to see the new paper bag for the manual and the sticker sheet that we got in the Ferrari set, as here the stickers seem to be quite important. The manual is quite big. As you see, there are 3 main phases of the build based on the bag numbers. There's no extra information at the beginning, but at the end we get a cool comparison photo with the real car. On the next page we have another side photo of the Senna with a quote from Andy Palmer translated to a zillion languages. I think some extra background information about the car would have been better, but apparently that is the privilege of the bigger sets, only like the Ferrari. The next page shows the functions just like the back of the box, and on the following one we can see some of the new releases from the 2021 first wave. Here is the complete part list spread over 2 pages. There are some new pieces and eagle-eyed viewers can start to be worried, as I see no differential. We could already see this new piece in the Jeep and the Ferrari as well. Here it comes in black and blue. It can be used as a middle piece between 2 of these small panel fairings. It can be connected to them on the sides and also has a central cross-axle hole. Now let's start building the set. So, I am only at step 9 and there's a problem. The set starts with the crankshaft of the engine, and after using 4 of these 2 stud-long beams here and 1 here, I would need another one, but there's no more in the bag. I've built hundreds of sets so far and I always thought that missing pieces are caused by a customer error in 99.9% of the cases. Can't find a piece here among the others, it's not in the plastic bags, it's not in the box, and I couldn't find it on the floor either. Oh wait, okay. Faith in LEGO's quality control restored, it was indeed on the floor. Now let's get back to building. So we've got the engine built and something that seems to be the rear axle is connected to it. It's a quite unusual setup, first because of these tagged straight connectors, and second because there's no differential used here. What's the trick? Only the left axle is connected to the engine with the gears, the right axle is actually a 5 stud long axle with stop, and it is not connected to it. As the car is not powered, it kind of makes sense, but it's pretty weird to see such solution in an official set. No surprises regarding the fake engine. We get the axle built pistons that became the new standard at this scale. We have some beam stacking here at the front, and the first 3 of the 46 stickers to be applied. This one will be a long ride. At this point we already have the front axles in place with the steering rack. You can see where the hand-of-God steering will be. You can also see the seats here. This is where the 2 sections are joined together, but the situation is still a bit, well, flexible. Apparently it was still flexible on purpose. Once these beams are added it gets more stable, although some reinforcement is still needed. There are some odd angles here. I wonder how the final structure will look like. Well, after the required reinforcements, this is the end of Bags 1. The rear section is pretty rigid, but it still looks pretty weird from the side. Here we have 5 studs distance between the top and bottom sections. At the end it's already 6. And as you see, the engine and a big chunk of the rear is tilted downwards. I checked the manual multiple times, but I could not find any building errors, so it's apparently by purpose. I would be more relaxed if the manual had a side view confirming these angles before starting Bags 2. The second bag starts with an interesting addition. These beams when attached are only half stud lower than the rest of the body behind them. It is a very clever solution. Here comes the section with the rear lights and the McLaren logo at the middle. And here comes a bunch of system bricks that becomes the diffuser. Time to add that new curved panel piece, it goes to the top. With these pieces, the top section is now fixed, and it adds to the ever-growing list of wacky angles of this model. Here are some blue flex axles. I'm usually not a big fan of these for body shaping. We will see how it will look like at the end. Almost every panel fairing gets a sticker. There's some pretty complex body shaping going on here. This trend continues with the rear wing, stickers everywhere, and a whopping amount of 6 small black panel fairings in this assembly alone. The final piece in Bags 2 is the dashboard. This is where those angled support pieces will make sense as they hold the angled dashboard and the steering wheel. Now let's jump to Bags 3. It starts with the roof panels that should fit under that air intake. Then we add some details to the front. It's interesting to see again these structures with half-stud offset. This build seems to have plenty of them. Somehow I missed this part when I checked the part list. So far this excellent pin connector hub was only available in dark bluish grey, but now it comes in blue too. Adding more details to the front with the lights. As you see, we have transparent system bricks and cyan style white rods used as well. The front section is pretty complex with different connectors, system bricks, and of course stickers everywhere. The front wheel arches are printed. LEGO still does not want you to apply a sticker on such a curved surface. The print is now a pretty close mesh to the stickers, they look good together. Here comes the door. I actually think this set has a record number of small panel fairings used and also a record number of stickers per piece. I was really wondering how the door mechanism will work, and apparently it is very simple but brilliant. Works perfectly and also matches the real thing. Luckily the GTR version does not have the see-through door of the street legal version, so the LEGO designers did not have the challenge to replicate them here. We are almost finished now, adding the A-pillars and the side of the roof with some flex axles and connectors. These are a real pain to attach. Here are the mirrors, then we need to add the wheels, which have different tires at the front and at the back. The final touch is the knob for the hand of God steering on the top, and that's it, we are finished. So, here is our McLaren Senna GTR in its full glory. I have to tell you that I really hated applying all these 40-something stickers, but it looks absolutely fantastic. The body shaping is nice and detailed. Even without the stickers, there are many details everywhere. Comparing it to the front of the original car, there are obvious differences, but considering the limitations of the brick, there are many easily recognizable details. Even the shape of the front splitter is replicated with those beams placed half-stud lower on each side. The rear is dominated by the massive wing and the diffuser. There are again many correctly replicated details like the double exhaust, the GTR sticker on the bottom of the wing or the rear lights. As you saw previously, the doors can be opened, and they do it just like the real ones. The mechanism is very simple and works great. The interior is pretty simple, but honestly there are not much details to add at this scale, and it is a race car anyway. We have 2 seats and a steering wheel, that's probably all we need. The working V8 engine is properly visible when you push the car along. Remember, it will only run if you spin the left rear wheel, the right one is not connected to it. There are a few parts that can be easily moved around, like the rear view mirrors and some elements on the front. Otherwise, the whole car is pretty sturdy and well built. The interesting setup of the rear axle and the engine is barely visible once the car is built. You can only see the incline when you leave the car. The hand of God steering is easy to operate. The car has a decent turning radius. Let's compare it to the Corvette. As you see, the scale is pretty similar. The Corvette is actually shorter, which is the case in real life as well. The McLaren has around 250 more pieces than the Corvette, and the difference is clearly visible. It has more details than its orange sibling. The body is more complex as well, and I think there are definitely more sophisticated building techniques used in the McLaren. Here is my RC version of the Corvette next to the McLaren and the original Corvette. I think they look great together. And now the obligatory car transporter test. Yes, it does fit, and the scale is pretty much okay. Due to the length of the car, you can't really fit 2 cars on the top deck, but it seems to be okay-ish on the lower one. Thanks to the long nose, you will have some difficulties if you want to drive up the ramp, but this is the case with most of these cars anyway. So, let's sum it up. I think the McLaren Senna GTR looks fantastic. The designers did a great job replicating it at this scale. It uses tons of stickers and applying them gets pretty boring after a while, but if you see the end result, I think it is worth it. It does not have too many working functions, but I think it is a great set for any car lover, kids and adults as well. I'm really happy to see Technic cars being released at this scale. I hope we will see more and more coming. I know the lack of the rear differential will upset a lot of people, but the solution implemented here works quite well. It is not realistic, but it is not an off-road car, so that single wheel will drive the engine properly during playing. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe and tap the notification bell if you don't want to miss my Technic reviews and other LEGO RC videos. See you next time, bye bye!